Let me tell you a story about how the United States began the practice of blocking foreign investment that threatened its national interests. It all started when the Japanese company Fujitsu wanted to buy the U.S. semiconductor manufacturer Fairchild Semiconductor, which at the time was considered a distressed asset. This is a term for a company that is losing money, often on the verge of bankruptcy, and that cannot pay its debts. And most often, such companies are sold at a low price and are bought only to sell the assets piecemeal. The problem with Fairchild was that it had almost no valuable assets, and people on the outside didn't understand why the Japanese were buying it. It was a troubled, losing company. Its best days were far behind it. Its market share was meager. There were no new products, and the only thing keeping it afloat was the income from patents that were also about to expire. Only the Japanese weren't stupid. They knew what they were buying. After all, it was not a simple company at all. This company was the first to start producing silicon semiconductors and was a forge of talents from which the history of Silicon Valley began, many of whom later founded their own companies. For example, Robert Noyce, the founder of Intel. Therefore, the Japanese did not need a company, but the technology of a company that could be bought for a small price. The company was valued at only $200 million. I also want to say that this was the time of the trade war between the United States and Japan, which Reagan started. And semiconductors were one of the main reasons for this war. This confrontation went so far that in 1986, the United States signed an agreement with Japan in the semiconductor industry, which regulated the prices and volumes of semiconductor exports from Japan to the United States. Therefore, in addition to technology, the Japanese wanted to buy an American manufacturer in order to circumvent existing restrictions, and the Americans understood this perfectly. And this increased interest of the Japanese in American technologies and the fear that the Japanese would use such companies to strengthen their presence in the American market and displace American manufacturers caused a strong resonance in society. The deal even interested the American government, which immediately opposed this deal. As soon as the parties were ready to conclude the deal, the government blocked it. For this purpose, the Exxon-Florio Amendment of 1988 was quickly adopted. According to this amendment, the president has the right to block any acquisition of an American company by foreign investors if this acquisition threatens the national security of the United States. In the end, the Japanese refused to purchase this company, accusing the U.S. government of interfering in this process. And for the U.S. government, the successful implementation of its plan allowed it to block further purchases of high-tech companies by the Japanese. Later, these functions of considering the possibility of a threat and controlling foreign investment were transferred to the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. Now, in 2018, response to new threats to the United States' technological dominance, CFIUS, is focusing on Chinese investments. For example, in 2016, Obama blocked the purchase of Akestrone by Chinese investors. In 2017, Trump blocked the purchase of Lattice Semiconductor by Chinese investors. In 2018, there was a high-profile case involving Broadcom's attempt to gain control of Qualcomm, which was also blocked by CFIUS. Qualcomm, by the way, is one of Apple's largest suppliers.